In 2008, the Jehovah's Witnesses were the fastest growing religious group in America. At 2.5%, that was a very high figure when compared to other religions. However, in 2023, their growth rate has dropped to 1.3%. The Jehovah's Witnesses are experiencing a decline, but sometimes it can be so difficult to see this when 8.5 million people actively preach each month and report this figure. So in today's video, I'm going to unpack the top 10 countries where Jehovah's Witnesses are active. We're going to go country by country and look at the figures for ourselves and see, are they truly increasing or decreasing in that specific part of the world, country, or region? If I mention your country by any chance, please let us know in the comment section and let's get into the video. So at number 10, we have Colombia. Colombia has 173,802 active publishers. That figure was for 2017, remember. Then currently, when you look at the Jehovah's Witnesses website, they say they have 186,712 active publishers. While when you go into the yearbook and you look specifically at Colombia, they have 185,586 publishers. That is a decline of -2% from the last year, meaning that they saw no growth in that country for Jehovah's Witnesses. In fact, they saw a loss. And remember that 2017 and the current figures that I'm sharing with you are a span of 7 years. So Colombia has not seen growth. And the year prior to this one, meaning 2021, they saw a 0% increase. So the Jehovah's Witnesses are not growing in Colombia. Number 9, we have Zambia. In 2017, Zambia had 311,000 active publishers. When you go to the Jehovah's Witnesses website today, you will see that they are standing at 239,427. But when you check the yearbook, it's actually 191,372,000 active publishers. Now, with Zambia, it's a bit interesting because Zambia is growing in terms of numbers for Jehovah's Witnesses. 2 years ago, they saw a 10% growth. However, last year, they only saw a 5% growth, meaning half of that number. So they're not growing at the same rate anymore. So technically, they are on a decline in Zambia as well. It's also very interesting to note that countries where the West have destabilized or caused some form of disruption, the Jehovah's Witnesses actually have a strong foothold in those countries and they're making numbers. And these are countries that are deemed very dangerous. As I go down the list, you will see what countries I'm specifically talking about. So we need to ask ourselves, how are the Jehovah's Witnesses able to get their messaging across even in the most dangerous parts of the world? And why are they using these opportunities where people are going through war, challenges, famine, whatever the case may be? Why are they growing in those specific regions? When people need help, why are they there to save them? Third, we have the Philippines. The Philippines in 2017 reported 210,914,000 active publishers. Currently now, when you check the JW website, they have 253,876 active publishers. But of course, when you check the yearbook, that figure stands at 233,488. 2 years ago, they had a 5% increase. However, last year, it was only a 2% increase. So even in the Philippines, the Jehovah's Witnesses are technically declining. Then we move on to Japan. Japan has 213,473 active publishers. But when you check the current figures now, it's only a mere 457,000 active publishers. And then when you look more closely, of course, within the Jehovah's Witnesses yearbook, they only have 213,828 active publishers. That's a 0% increase. However, I don't even know if you guys can see this. My notes are so ugly, but I made a pink mark. So countries with a pink mark are very fishy because something is off there. Normally, the Jehovah's Witnesses do stipulate whether they have seen growth or a decrease within a specific region, and they even give you the percentage. For these countries, there's no percentage given, whereas the year prior, Japan only had a 0% increase. So I think Japan actually experienced a decline of members, but the Jehovah's Witnesses are just not saying it, or they're just not showing it on their website. I hope that makes sense. Then we move on to number 6, the DRC. Remember, I said the Jehovah's Witnesses for some reason have a strong hold in countries that are dangerous and destabilized. While Congo is one of those countries. Congo is very rich in minerals, very rich with resources. And as we can see on the news, a lot of things are transpiring in that country. A lot of bad stuff is happening. And the Jehovah's Witnesses have a very strong hold in that country. They are literally number 6 on the list of top 10 countries for the Jehovah's Witnesses. So we need to ask ourselves why they have such a stronghold in such regions. They reported 216,696 active publishers in 2017. However, currently when you check on their website, they will tell you they have 257,672 active publishers. Yet, when you look closely at the yearbook, it's only 217,977,000 active publishers. Now, I do have to say that with the DRC, it's quite interesting as well, because the year before or 2 years ago, they saw a 12% increase. However, just this last year, according to the yearbook, they only saw an 8% increase, meaning that yes, they are growing, but not at the rate that they usually grow at, which is very interesting. The Jehovah's Witnesses so far are declining everywhere. Let's keep going. Next, we have Italy. Italy has 192,000 active publishers. And when you check the website, it's 193,000 active publishers. But when you check closely, of course, on jw.org and you go to the yearbook specifically, it's only 116, meaning that they had a 0% increase. However, they are also one of the pink countries. The 0% is from the year or 2 years before and not the latest figures that they have. So I think also in Italy, they're seeing a big decrease and they're just not showing that figure. Nigeria is at number 4 on the list, and similarly to the DRC, they also have a lot of political issues, economical issues, societal issues, all of the issues you can think about. Nigeria is experiencing them, and you need to ask yourself, why does the Jehovah's Witnesses have such a stronghold in destabilized countries that were destabilized by the West? Because Nigeria is reporting 381,398 active publishers in 2017. Then currently, Jehovah's Witnesses are reporting 400,375. However, this is very interesting. When you check the correct figures in the yearbook, you see that the figure only stands at 351,732. That is even less than 2017. Yet they are claiming that they had an 8% growth rate. And that's what I'm saying, if I have not said it before, we need to take these growth rates with a pinch of salt, because the figures are not adding up. Yet these are the figures that JW has provided. But it's also safe to assume that definitely the organization is on a decline. Nigeria is reporting lower figures than 2017, yet they want to tell us that they are growing. Okay, girl. Whatever makes you sleep better at night. Then at number 3, we have Brazil. Brazil has 799,000 active publishers. On their website, they're reporting 121,000 active publishers. If I'm reading these numbers incorrectly, guys, you have to forgive me. There's so many numbers, but of course they're on the screen, so you can read along with me. But that's the figure that the Jehovah's Witnesses were reporting for Brazil on their website. However, when you check on the yearbook, you see that it stands at 121,000 active publishers, which is what? A 0% increase, meaning the Jehovah's Witnesses are not growing in Brazil. Secondly, we have Mexico. In Mexico, 871,207 reported to be active Jehovah's Witnesses publishers. Current figures stand at 864,738. And that's the JW figures, those peak figures, the highest figures. That's the figure that they put. But when you check the yearbook, it's 856,224 active publishers. That is a minus 1% growth rate. And this comes off a 0% growth rate the year before. So the Jehovah's Witnesses are not only growing, they are literally in a decline in Mexico. So number one on the list, we have the United States of America. No surprise there. But I will say, I'm surprised Canada is not on this list and we don't have a lot more European countries, which is very interesting. Anyways, America stands at 1.2 million. Oh my gosh, this figure. Let's try. Let me try to say this figure. America stands at 1,232,293 active publishers. This was in 2017. Then currently now, when you check on the JW website, this figure, it's 1,233,609 active publishers. However, when you go to the yearbook, when you see the correct figures, it's 1,200,030. 4,6,300 publishers. I don't know if I said that number correctly, but what I will say is that America is definitely not seeing a growth as well of Jehovah's Witnesses. They, similarly to Mexico, are also experiencing a decline. Last year, they saw a minus 1% growth rate, and the year before was also a minus 1 growth rate. So those are the figures of the different regions, or the top 10 regions of Jehovah's Witnesses. And as we can see, every single region is experiencing some form of decline. Even the regions that are seeing a growth, they are not seeing growth at the same rate as previous years, which just goes to show us that the Jehovah's Witnesses as an organization globally are declining. And there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and we all learned something, and we learned that the Jehovah's Witnesses are definitely experiencing a decline. And I hope that we can now sleep better at night knowing that the demise of this organization is just around the corner. I hope you guys have a lovely day going forward, and I will see you all in the next one.